We're going to talk about branding for 2016. So I'm really, really hoping that business owners out there made some really good New Year's resolutions for their business, not just themselves. I actually didn't make any for me, but I've made plenty for my business. Some that I have here, and I'll actually pop those up on our Facebook page later. I've sort of written down and want to talk about what I think are the most important ones for businesses for 2016. I want people to set and write down specific goals for their business for the year. So basically, you can't do your business without a plan. So you might have done your plan when you first started your business, but it now needs some attention and some focus. And 2016 might be the way to take it off in a new direction. Know what you need to do and identify what it is that needs your attention in your business. Some ideas for you might be that you need to get a certain number of website hits that you want to have, or you want to get a certain following on Facebook, like you might have 300 followers, so you want to increase that to 500. So set those goals for yourself and write them down. And the reason I'm saying is write them down, that way you can actually keep track of it and tick them off as you meet those goals. Another resolution is to make more customer relationships personal. You haven't got a business unless it's personal, because like Callie was saying, they're buying you. Focus on relationship marketing, and that helps you build long-term customer relationships and loyalty. So when you've got someone coming through your business for your service or an item, don't just focus on that. We're not focusing just on the sale. We want to focus on building an entire long-term relationship with that particular customer. If you have a business that when they come in, say for the first time, you've got someone passing through town that's coming and has bought, say it's one of the dress shops in town, quite often you'll get asked, have you got an email address? That way you can send them newsletters. Don't just use the autoresponders for your email that just use those first names that go into that customer list. Make it personal. So every now and then, just send them a personalised email. There are plenty of apps and other websites out there that'll give you some really good ideas for small business owners to make their experience more personal for customers. So there are software out there as well that'll help you also do some live chat. So if you've got a downtime and you do have a computer in your shop, you can jump on and have a live chat with some potential customers out there as well. So there's a couple of little tips for you in making your customer relationships more personal. I'll put up some of those links to those sites also on the Facebook page, Lunch with the KGB. Now, everything's going very digital, as we know, and any of the tech blogs that you read says that this year's going to be quite big, and it's going to be big for mobile. Your website, if you have one, make sure that it is optimised for mobile phones. These days, no one goes anywhere without their mobile. Well, I certainly don't, and if I do, I feel naked. I actually went down to the shops the other day and got about 2 k's from home and realised I didn't have my phone. So we drove back home to get it. Pretty sad, but that's what people do these days. So make sure that your website is optimised for mobile. I've got a little fact here from Google that they said mobile traffic overtook desktop traffic in 10 countries in 2015. So that's pretty big. And Google themselves are actually accelerating their plans for their mobile websites. So they're the leader. Let's all follow them. Get our businesses up and going.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Follow the leader.
And also make sure that the emails that you might send out to your customer lists are also optimised for mobile. I do subscribe to a couple that when they come through on my mobile phone, they're either too small or too big. So I sort of have to keep swiping across to read them, which makes it a little bit painful. So basically I'll just close them and read them when I'm at home on the laptop, which I never actually have time to read. So I'm actually missing out on some good things. And they could be missing out on good custom because I'm pretty good at online buying. I hope my husband's not listening. Okay, so yeah, make sure that they are optimised for mobile. And if you're not sure how to do it, there are some really good software packages that'll do that for you as well that you can subscribe to. There's some free and some really low cost. The other one is to improve your local brand with geo-specific marketing. Did that just sound like a whole bunch of garble? Okay, so geo-specific marketing is your localised marketing. So if you're wanting something in a particular area, and look, the street shops here in Kilmore or in Broadford or Wallen will obviously want to attract local customers, but also think about the ones that are coming through town. Kilmore has the main road, which heads up to, Echuca and a lot of the other holiday spots. Where are they coming from? Probably Melbourne. target campaigns towards people in Melbourne so that they'll stop off on the way on their holiday. So you can actually tag things in your advertisements online for regions. So, for example, if I'm creating an advertisement on my Facebook page, I can actually target people just in Lancefield or people in Heathcote if I'm wanting to offer a specific service just for that region. So it means that if I'm living in Kilmore, I won't get that particular ad, but if I'm living in Lancefield, I would get it. So you can do things like that. Also look for LinkedIn groups. So I'm going to start talking a little bit this year about LinkedIn. I know I've done a lot about Facebook, but LinkedIn and Pinterest I'm going to focus on a little bit this year as well. With LinkedIn, you can hashtag specific groups. So always make sure you use the hashtag and use that specific region. And on LinkedIn, there are also region groups as well. So make sure that you're looking for those and using those for your geo-specific marketing. Tailor those specific messages and test it. Obviously, we don't want to keep marketing if those things aren't working. So use your insights, use your background campaign testers to see how it's actually going. So it'll show you your clicks and things like that from those specific advertisements. Resolution 4 or 5, what am I up to? So the next
4.
one. Okay, beautiful. I will test more ideas. So be creative. Way of building your business is to test new ideas. We can all be happy where our businesses are at, but why be just happy with the status quo? Build it. Make more money, get out there, employ people, do whatever. But, the idea of being in business is building it. So let's get out there and test some ideas.
These are all very good.
Well, I try, Joe. If you talk to really successful people and bigger entrepreneurs that have had really good success, the reason they're so successful is because they will try new ideas. They're not afraid. The worst thing that can happen is it won't work. But if you've already got a little good business happening and a good little stream already happening, your new idea not working is not going to be the worst thing in the world because you've still got your income, you've still got your business. So try it. Don't be afraid. If it doesn't work, then just move on to something else. There's always something else that you can do.
My daughter actually said to me this morning, you can make mistakes at school, can't you, Mummy? But you can't make them at work. And I said, oh, no, you do make mistakes at work. That's how you learn.
If people do want to have a discussion about trying new ideas and they're not sure where they can go, I have no problem with them contacting us privately through the Lunch of the KGB Facebook. The most important thing about testing ideas, though, is to write them down, catalogue them, and make sure that way you're not repeating any mistakes that you might have made. Okay, I'm going to have a little chat about LinkedIn and Pinterest now because, as I said before, I am going to chat a little bit about those this year. So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, get it very quickly. It's a whole new network that you can build, and you can have one for your personal self and another one for your business as well. Make sure you do keep it as updated as possible. Again, it can be time consuming, just like a Facebook profile. It might be something that you want a social media person to take on. The rise of social media helpers in business is quite big now, and they can actually keep it updated and fresh and new for you. Send your profile that you've created to as many contacts as you can that you know, and then ask them to share it as well and build your network.
That's a good way to create with your existing customers for 2016.
Yep.
You can say, hey, I've got this now. And
exactly. When you are on there, make sure you're not constantly hammering people though, because it can become a little bit like spam and you'll just annoy people. So again, when you're sending out messages, personalise it. Don't just send a generic one out to 20 people. Check out their profile, see what interests them, and then try and target what interests them in your personalised message to them. Now, the other one is Pinterest. Make sure you get seen on Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is basically, for those that don't know it, a little bit like Instagram. It's snapshots. So you look at pictures that interest you and they're in categories. So I'm a big one for gardening and DIY things on Pinterest. So I have all these lists on my profile, and then if I see like a really nice looking gazebo, I'll check out that picture. It'll take me into an article, and then it can take me into like 20 million other categories as well. But then I can pin them to my profile so I can go back and have a look at them later. So for example, a florist could be putting up their beautiful bouquets, and people will just instantly be attracted to that and go, oh, I'm going to check that out. And then they can actually put up a little bit about their business. When people go into that, they can do like a mini blog, and this is our latest bouquet, this is made up of this, and this is however much. Come to our website, check it out. You can order it online and send it wherever. So it's another way of building your business. Again, some of the techie blogs have said that Pinterest is going to, they're even saying it might overtake Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. So they're quite powerful tools to start getting in and using. Again, if you're not sure what to do, send us a message or put something on the Lunch at the KGB Facebook page.
Yep.
And one of us will get in touch and we'll work out how to help you out with LinkedIn or Pinterest.
Yeah, we love contact on our Facebook page. And when you're finished, can I put our little offer to our members?
You can, but I haven't finished yet, Joe. You know when you get me in front of this microphone, I love it.
Back to number 6.
Yeah, so I haven't actually got any more resolutions. I think that's quite enough for January.
I think so.
Yep, so that's going to keep you busy for the rest of January until our next show. But just a couple of little points. In September, Pinterest surpassed 100 million monthly active users.
Wow.
So you can be right out there. So make sure that you do get onto it and you do get onto LinkedIn. I'm really, really excited about 2016. It is going to be a massively exciting year for brand development on social media. So make sure that your business does not miss out. Even though we're little, we can be out there. So only be little in theory for now. Build it big.